Now we're going to take an example for personal development. So one of your problems, let's say, is time management. Even though it's covered in the course, you still have problems managing your time. So why is one of the main ideas time management? What is the goal behind it? Maybe the goal behind it is, spending more time with your kids, right? So you get to a point where you're mind mapping the main idea, which is time management. If you know how to do time management properly, you'll have more time to spend with your kids or your wife or doing whatever you want. So the main idea is time management. Now, when it comes to time, what are all the different branches? What are the things that usually consume time, right? Now, in this particular mind map, they used one of the things that we talked about when we talked about enhancing structure, which is adding keywords or descriptions. So when they divided in this mind map, dividing time management into 4 different branches: urgent and not important, urgent and important, not urgent and important, not important and not urgent. And then they related each and every one of these branches to a keyword: learn to avoid. So urgent and not important, the keyword is learn to avoid. So whenever you think about something and you know that it's urgent and not important, the first idea that's going to come to your mind is, I need to avoid that, right? Why? Because of the visual perception that took place when you were doing the mind mapping. Not important and not urgent, learn to limit. Whenever you face something like that, you are going to limit it. Same thing goes for urgent and important, learn to manage. Not urgent and important, learn to focus. And then after writing these keywords that would help with the branches, they didn't just help with the branching, they also help with the sub-branches, because not important and not urgent, you know that you need to limit them. And then you thought about, what are the things that are not important, not urgent? What are the things that I think I need to limit in my life? And then you start thinking about them, or time wasters, entertainment, pleasant activities. And then you thought about urgent and not important. What are the things that I need to avoid? Interruptions, meetings and calls, busy work, right? So when you thought about the main idea, which is time management, you want to work on self-improvement, you want to work on your time management, and then you said, well, there are 4 different tasks that I have in my life that I work on. Some of them are urgent and not important, some of them are this and that, and you figured out all the different branches. This is just common sense, right? Maybe the branches can be completely different based on you. Maybe for you, when you're writing a time management mind map, maybe it can be, the branches could be planning, prioritization, productivity, and willpower, right? Then you're going to be talking about other things. You're going to be talking about planning. So what are the different methods to plan? So you have the first branch, which is related to time management, which is planning. And now you have the different sub-branches, the different ways that you can plan your tasks. And productivity, for example, that's another branch related to time management. So now you need to know, what are some ways that can make you more productive? You write the sub-branches and you see, for example, which one of these would actually work for you. Prioritization, you look at what are your priorities. Maybe here in prioritization, the sub-branches can be urgent and not important, urgent and important, not urgent and not important, right? So it's up to you to decide how you're going to actually do your mind map based on what you think you should do. If you think that time management for you, the problem in time management is you not being able to plan effectively and you not be able to prioritize what you need to do, then your mind map needs to tend towards whatever you're not actually getting, but you're aware that these are problems. And even if you don't, always going on Google, for example, if you know that time management is an issue that you're facing and you want to do a mind map, you don't want to follow a mind map that somebody wrote, you want to follow your own mind map. Here is where the 4 stages of learning, here they take place. Because let's say you want to manage your time, but you don't know how to manage your time. You hear some people talking about planning, but is it enough? You didn't know about prioritization. You didn't know about willpower. These are things that you didn't know, right? That's the first stage. That's right here, your unconscious incompetence, right? But then you do Google research and you figure out some things and it rings a bell. Oh my God, these are things that I don't have, or these are things that I never do. And these are things that are crucial for time management. and you're in step number 2, conscious incompetence, right? And then you move to step number 3, and here, right here, you're going to start writing your branches, right? And then you're going to get to step number 3, and you're going to realize you're going to have a conscious competence where you're going to realize what your branches are, what are the sub-branches, what do I need to work on in order for me to achieve these branches and eventually conquer time management. So once you have these in front of you, then you'll be able to work your way through to the 4th stage, which is eventually unconscious competence, being so natural at it that you're so natural at time management and you do it perfectly, right? So if at any point you have a problem and you want to figure out a mind map for it, and you can't figure out how to build this mind map, you have the main idea, go do a research and follow the 4 stages of learning to be able to build the mind map correctly. Otherwise, if you're just going to go through time management with having stuff in your mind that you don't even know, having concepts related to time management that you have no idea about, that you've never seen before, you are preparing yourself to fail. The mind map is not going to help you. Unless you know and you're aware of every single aspect and concept of this particular thing you're working on, you need to do your research. You need to look at the different angles before applying a mind map. Otherwise, you're risking into going into a mind map that is not really effective for you.